flying down into Guyana from America, I pulled out a magazine out of the back, and it started talking about a woman that lived way back in this area we was going to go to. She was a British woman, and she ran some kind of resort or something, and it just talked about the place. I read, oh, that's nice. I closed it up and went. Well, we get on the airplane, so I asked the brother. I said, is there going to be anybody pick us up? He goes, no. I said, well, do you know where this village is? He goes, it's somewhere in that direction. Don't worry about it. Now, I did not know this whole mission trip was constructed to help Danny, not the natives. Even though it did, but God wanted me to learn something called patience. Because you're going to need it to wait upon the Lord. And I got so consumed with worry. And me and him bickered and argued. And I said, that's not how we work. We got people that know, that pick us up and everything. Well, it was us brothers, us two brothers on this plane, and they had put a big painting in the airplane in the cargo section. I didn't know what it was. And so as we're flying down to the middle of nowhere to land on this airstrip where nobody is to pick us up, I asked him, what direction. He didn't know. And then he started saying, there's something wrong. Well, great. I already am not getting back home. Now there's something wrong. And he goes, something bad is wrong. Well, I didn't know the brother's coming down with malaria. But he goes, there's something wrong. And I go, yeah, there must be. There's something wrong with me. We land, and there's a Jeep waiting there. And it's not waiting for us. It's waiting for the painting. Nobody's there to pick us up there. The painting was more important than the preachers. And the brother asked him, said, hey, can we hitch a ride with you? We're trying to get over to this village. They said, yeah, hop in. We'll take you over to this farm. Maybe they can get you there. We ended up at this village. Nobody came to get us, but we ended up. And the whole time he's telling me, don't worry about it. And I worried about it. And we fought. We're on the mission field. We're there for the glory of God, walking in his inspiration, fighting like cats and dogs. He calls me a little child, and I called him an old woman. I'm sorry. It's just the way it was. We're there to have a meeting. See, you thought with preachers is all halos and prayer meetings. I'm trying to help you. Here's a young preacher. Brother Desmond told me he's went on, bless his heart, he's went on to be with the Lord now. We became real close friends. Don't think we became enemies. We became real close friends. We laughed about that till the day he died. I mean, he's a little child and you're an old woman. We had great identification with one another. And he said, listen, he said, I can't preach. He said, you're going to have to preach. Now, I'm there 8 days. I went into a deep depression. I got to be honest, a deep depression. Because number one, I'm not getting back home. I have no return ticket. I got to preach a revival meeting while I'm depressed. That's right. That's how it was. I can't describe to you how much depression came down upon me. So I went because I was depressed. I went and laid in the hammock under a tree and tried to study. So, of course, because I was depressed, I pulled out demonology. It's a good sermon to go along with how I'm feeling. You feel oppressed? Let's look about demons, how they work. So I did. And I opened up that book, and the first thing I saw is Brother Branham says, now on the mission field. I said, on the mission field. He began to talk about all the dangers and the snakes and the mosquito. Just touch you got malaria. And he says, then at the end of it, he says, but don't worry about it. The Lord will go before you and wave it all out of the way. Now, I got to tell you, to my fault, I read that. It never moved my meter one bit. And I'm going to tell you about the glory of God. The brother came to me. He's sick. He's like, give me your money. I gave it. It was $80. My last money on earth I gave to him. And he gave it to an Indian brother. And the Indian brother strapped a live pig to the back of a bicycle and bicycled 70 miles, and he was going to meet us at the end of the 8 days. So I did not know for 8 days when I was gone home when I wanted to. Last I saw of my money was when the piggy was gone to the market. Literally. It wasn't funny then.